Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in to today's episode of That BS Podcast. In today's episode, we are talking about owning my midlife mess. This is day 29 of the Learning How to Flow in Midlife 55-day series. In this bold and compassionate episode, I invite listeners and viewers to take off the mask of perfection and embrace their midlife messiness. I'm normalizing the chaos, confusion, and course corrections that often define this season and shows how owning the mess is the first step in reclaiming your power. This episode is a celebration of truth, transparency, and transformation. And of course, we are going to be using my F.L.O.W framework where we face the unbelief, let go of the lie, own your story, and win at your next chapter. As I mentioned, this is part of the Learning How to Flow in Midlife 55-day series and 55 days of giveaways. Yes, super excited about that. And 55 is celebrating. I'm coming up on my 55th double nickel birthday. Cue the graffiti, somebody. And today's giveaway is lesson 29 in my signature course, Your Midlife Your Way, a journey to an unapologetically authentic self. Lesson 29 is all about loving your emotional self. Here is the QR code, just in case for some reason you can't get to it any other way. And let's dive into owning my midlife mess. This is day 29 of the 55-day series. All right, so here we go. I'm going to move quick because we are in the middle of a horrible storm right now, and I'm a little old school. I grew up in a time when it was thundering and lightning outside. Your grandmother told you get off the phone, turn off the television, all that stuff, right? So diving into real quick today's topic about our mess, owning our midlife mess. First part of the flow framework is F. What is it? Face the unbelief. Point number one, acknowledging the fear that your mess disqualifies you. That is a belief system that needs to be corrected. Number two, confronting the belief that others have it all figured out, but you don't. All of us are figuring this thing out together, okay? Trust and believe. That's why we go on YouTube. That's why we read the books. That's why we're doing all of the things, because nobody is further along per se. Yes, some people have learned some things and we're learning from one another, but we do this midlife thing in community. Owning the ways you tried to hide your struggle. This midlife struggle is real. It's beautiful, but it is real. Okay. So uh, owning our midlife mess and focusing on facing the unbelief. And those 3 points: acknowledging the fear that your mess disqualifies you, confronting the belief that others have it all figured out, but you don't, and owning the ways you've tried to hide your struggle. Oh man, it's very interesting outside. Number two in the flow framework is let go of the lie. Bullet number one, letting go of the lie is releasing the lie that midlife should be tidy and predictable. Our lives up until this point have not been tidy and predictable. Okay. So expecting everything to be nicely fit together with a bow is quite honestly unrealistic, and it's not life. Number two, letting go of shame around not having a clear plan. That's what we're working on together. The plan gets clear. It makes me think that the scripture is that thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. We have to take one step at a time, and the path and the plan become clear. And number three, in let go of the lie, is dismantling the myth that messiness means failure. Nothing could be further from the truth. Messiness does not mean failure. It means that we're living, we're alive, we are in this process, right? That we are on this journey. That's what this messiness means. Not failure, alive, engaged, part of the process. Oh, in the flow framework is own your story, naming your missteps, mistakes, and moments of confusion. Oftentimes, in the faith community, we hate putting a label on things. We hate naming things as if by us naming it, we're claiming it, right? And if it's something negative, but naming our missteps, mistakes, and moments of confusion is acknowledging it so that when those elements show up again, when we start to see uh, those situations appear again, we can recognize them for what they are. I'm often reminded, because I do volunteer in the community with individuals who are challenged with various forms of addiction, right? That in those meetings, one of the things, confessions that has to be made is that my name is Lisa and I am a shopaholic or a recovering shopaholic. It's naming the thing so that we can recognize it in order to get healed from it and get fixed and get it fixed. When we go to the doctor's office, I say this all the time, and the doctor asks us what's bothering us, and he asks us about our history, and she says, "Well, where are you feeling the pain?" And if we go in and we say, "No, doc, I'm fine. Everything is good," and we leave the doctor's office going home experiencing the same pain that we're experiencing and saying the doctor didn't help us, it was a waste of time. It was a waste of our time because we did not fully acknowledge, explain, and name what was giving us problems. So the doctor could only address that which she knew about. Okay? So owning our story is naming our missteps, mistakes, and moments of confusion. Number two, honoring, sit in this now, honoring how far you've come, flawed and all. Baby, you are here. You have made it, flaws and all. Honor and celebrate it. You got to this point. We're having this discussion. You're hearing this thing, so you know, yes, Rashida, we made it. That is half the journey. We kept showing up, and we're in this place in this season of life, flaws and all, and we're going to celebrate it. Third and final point for owning our story is accepting your mess as part of your masterpiece. Oh, sit with that. Accepting your mess as part of your masterpiece. Robin Roberts on Good Morning America, I love what she says, and I have to give her credit for it. She says, "Your mess is your message. Your mess is your message." Accepting the mess as part of a masterpiece, that makes us who we are. It also gives us a place to operate and show up in humanity with a level of empathy that we would lack if we did not acknowledge and accept our messiness, right? Everything is not perfect. And although we work to be, on point and operate in the spirit of excellence and all, but sometimes every I is not dotted, every T is not crossed, but it's part of our masterpiece. The W in the flow framework is part of owning our midlife mess is win at the next chapter. Point number one, turn your mess into meaning and wait for it, it's coming, and mentorship. Sis, you've got a story, you've got experience, you've got knowledge and wisdom that somebody is waiting on. Somebody in your sphere of influence is looking at you, admiring you. You don't even realize that you are mentoring them by default. Turn your mess, which you think is a shortcoming, into meaning and mentorship. Second point to win at the next chapter is using your story to empower others who feel behind, who feel like they're not where they want to be or where they should be, right? Because there are days and times that we all feel like we just fell a little bit short, right? We're coming up short, but use your story to empower others and encourage others. And finally, when at the next chapter, the last and final point is creating a life that allows for growth, grace, and glorious detours. I love that. Creating a life that allows for growth, grace, and glorious detours. Because something that we used to do in management is when we figured out that there was a problem or how we were addressing something wasn't maybe the most efficient way, or there was another way to do it, we created a corrective action plan, right? It's basically the same thing of being in our car and our GPS. I call mine Glenda, and I'm going the wrong way. And Glenda said, Glenda the Good Witch in the Wizard of Oz. But anyway, Glenda says, recalibrating, turn this way, turn that way. Have a plan in order to win at the next chapter. I don't want to say be loose with it in a bad sense, but be flexible. Leave room for glorious detours of taking the scenic route that, okay, I went this way and, this wasn't how I intended to go. But while I'm here, I'm going to enjoy the view. I'm going to get the most that I can out of the experience at this moment in time as I'm heading in the direction of where I want to go. So here we go, our call to action. And journal this tonight, thinking about these two questions. Ask yourself, look, I said these two questions and hold up three fingers. See, that's that midlife messiness. Think about these two questions, right? As you're journaling tonight, or as you wind down and you're getting yourself ready for rest and thinking about tackling the next day. Just think about this. What part of your midlife mess have you been afraid to own? What part of your midlife mess have you been afraid to own? And the second question to ask yourselves tonight is, how could owning it set me free? Mm, how could owning it set me free? And there is a third question. And how could move a glorious detour, right? This is a teachable moment, a glorious detour. So the third question is, how could owning it help set someone else free? Mm. How could us owning it help to set someone else free? Then share this episode with someone who needs to know they're not alone in their midlife chaos. They are not alone. Don't forget to download the lesson that's available today, which is lesson 29, Love Your Emotional Self. Here is a larger QR code, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, hopefully without a tropical storm in the background. You all have a fantastic evening, and I will see you tomorrow with day 30.